guys. Today we are going to talk about Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. And I have a lot to say about this movie. It stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. Of course, it is 30 years in the making, which they tell you about 150 times throughout the movie. And it has, a collection of characters from all the past movies, of course, in this. And it comes out May 23rd. And listen, this movie is 2 hours and 40 some odd minutes, 50 some odd minutes. I don't know. It's long. Feels even longer than that. But it's basically 3 hours. There's nothing after the credits, by the way, so you don't have to stay. Get up, go to the bathroom, do your thing, leave. And there's a few things I liked about this movie. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things I did not like about this movie. And I'm surprised because I went into this expecting a good time. And I think immediately you start off with probably 30 minutes of clips from previous movies where they just explain to you the things that Ethan Hunt has done. And I get it, but at the same time, it's is this necessary? You could have real quickly gone through, oh, he's done this and that and blah, blah, blah. But also the people who are watching the final movie in the franchise have seen the other movies in the franchise, for the most part, right? So we don't need a recap, and especially a recap with clips. And the way they jump between them, it's boom, 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 boom. They flash them at you. I feel like people with epilepsy would have a hard time watching this. I'm not even kidding. It's so fast. It's so quick. It's here's him doing this. And you're calm down. I get it. I know. And that's why the first act for me is rough. It was hard to get through. I was getting exhausted. I kept yawning. I had to sit up and the thing when you're watching a movie and you're blah, blah, and then you're okay, I have to sit up. So I have to keep myself awake. I kept messing with my hair to keep myself awake. It's terrible, but it's true. And I was I just want to get to this movie. Right now you are just recapping all this other stuff that we've already seen. Second act is better. You get some action stuff, some stuff. I mean, listen, I think there's 3 fights, maybe 4 fights. 4 if you count the end one. Okay, so there's 2 tiny little fights at the beginning. Then there's another fight. Then there's another fight. And then there's 2 big stunt things, right? Which one is combined with the fight, I would say. And that's the big epic one at the end. That's incredible. I'm not going to lie. It's amazing. But there's another the submarine sequence is what I will call it. And it's not a fight sequence. It's more stunt sequence. Reminiscent of the train sequence from the last movie. Without people to fight is just more of getting through to do something, to accomplish something. He has a goal he has to do. Ethan Hunt has to do something. But it feels like you have to suspend a lot of belief for that one. Because, for example, you have to avoid torpedoes that are going to blow up. And they're all over the place, but none of them are blowing up. They're just fine. It's fine. They're not going to blow up. I don't know. My husband's in the Navy, and I'm interested to talk to him about it when he sees it and be whoa, was this real? Could this happen? All these things. But it's a Mission Impossible movie, and it's fun. And that sequence is fun. I'm not going to lie. It's cool. It's entertaining to watch. I was invested. It goes on a little too long, but I was invested. You have to suspend your belief for way more than just the torpedoes, but I feel like it will give spoilers away if I dive into it. But there's some stuff going on there that I was that is crazy pants. That would never work. But again, it's Mission Impossible, so whatever, I'm fine with it. But the second act is where you build the story, and we're okay, this is the final task for Ethan Hunt, right? This is his final mission, right? So they're setting up that stuff, and while it is a lot of talking and a lot of exposition, I was invested. I was okay, this is interesting. I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. I am entertained. So really, the problem is the first act is such a slog and really, really hard to get through that my tiredness carried on into the second act. And I said, there's some great stuff in there. There's some really, really good stuff a little later on that really ties to previous films that worked in a way I felt it really, really worked, as opposed to, throwing up clips at the beginning. It's a montage of clips of previous movies. I'm not even kidding. And the transitions are like you would do in PowerPoint. It's great. It's a good old time. No, but the second act it's getting there. It's getting more exciting. And then the third act also really good. There's that massive action sequence that I told you about, stunts. There's like a little bit of fighting. It's mostly a lot of stunts. It's the plane sequence that they've been teasing, of course, right? That we've seen so much of. It's literally on the poster. This is amazing, though. I loved every second of that sequence. There was not one moment where I was like, I'm bored. This should be shorter. I don't care. They could have made it longer, and it probably would have been just as good. My problem is there's so many of the talky scenes that are dragged out way too long. It's like a lot of exposition. It almost feels like they're trying to like cater to people who literally this is their first Mission Impossible movie, which like that's on you if you go see the final Mission Impossible movie and you haven't seen any of them before. But also I feel like even if you didn't, you wouldn't need this much explanation, if that makes sense. It just was kind of like, what are you doing here? And it made a lot of stuff slow down, and that is not the way you want to start either. I wish we had seen more from Palm. I wish we got more from her. Like, she's great when she's in here. I love her, but it was just like, okay, like Paris is like there, fine. You get a little bit of stuff, a little bit of important stuff, especially in the third act, but like, obviously this is a farewell to Ethan Hunt, so we focus so much on him. I did feel like Tom Cruise was trying to stick in scenes where we would see him in his underwear, which, like, fine, I get it, dude. You look amazing for your age. I don't blame you. But, like, there were some times where I was like, did he just add this so we would see him in his underwear? Not complaining, just curious if that was the point here, because you don't really need it. And then the ending, really good, drawn out again. And I get it, they're saying goodbye, and it's like, but there's like 10 minutes of people just staring at each other, and I'm like, I get it, I guess, but you don't need to be 10 minutes long. And it might not be 10 minutes long. Honestly, I don't know how long it was. I did not time it. But it feels like it's that long because of how long certain things in the movie were. There's certain lines that are spoken that, like, it thinks it's funny, I think, but they're not funny. They're just kind of cheesy. Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed seeing Ethan Hunt in action in the submarine sequence and the plane sequence. Those were both great. Those were amazing. Those are what Mission Impossible fans are gonna love. But the first half of the movie is a slog for the most part. And I felt so bad because I really, really wanted to be invested in this movie. I know of press friends who went to the first press screening and they saw it at night. And they were like, woo, I was getting tired. And it's like, yeah, you saw it at night. I saw it at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And I was like, Tessa, you gotta wake up. Like, it was rough at the start. Again, really, really good once it started get going. It's sequence-wise, action sequence-wise, right? Stunt sequence-wise. I wish there had been a little more fighting, a little less talky. And maybe some sequences could have been cut down. Scenes could have been cut down. This could have been a 2-hour movie, and it could have been clean and crisp and a great farewell to the franchise. And instead, it's like at the bottom of my list, like not the bottom, probably, I don't know, probably second to worst. I just was like, well, okay, maybe third to worst. Like, I just felt like I was like, what am I doing here? Why was I watching this? Like, if you take out the parts that are important to this Mission Impossible story, I really think it could have been combined to create something so much better. And that's unfortunate because Tom Cruise is amazing. Like, he does all these stunts himself. It's incredible. Like I said, the plane sequence was bananas awesome. It was so fun to watch. It was exhilarating to watch. It was waking me up. Submarine sequence, again, very, very cool. Have to suspend your belief. Whereas you do a little bit in the plane one, but I feel like not as much. Like, I was like, I could see Tom Cruise doing this for real up in the sky. Like, and I could see someone potentially doing this up in the sky. The submarine stuff, there was a few things that I was like, I feel like you would have been in trouble trying to do that. But anyways, I'm rambling. Essentially, long story short, it could have been better. It could have been so much better. It's too long. There's so many unnecessarily long scenes. There's things that are stuck in here that really aren't funny. Yes, it gives a little bit of an emotional story, a little bit of an emotional goodbye, but I think it spends too long trying to remind the audience that this is 30 years in the making Mission Impossible final movie. Like, I truly think it's like, we know you didn't need to just flat out tell us that, and because you did, that took away from the movie on what it could have been. That's kind of my thought. I mean, Simon Pegg's great. Everyone's like good, you know, it's kind of a mess at times. That's really the biggest problem. I would have liked more action. What do you think with a Mission Impossible? More action, more stunts, and it's just takes too long to get there. And then once you get it, it's like, sure, that was great, but is that enough to say this is a good movie and I recommend it? I can't say for sure. I really can't. I was bored for a lot of this movie, unfortunately. There's good stuff in here. But I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts on Mission Impossible Final Reckoning down below in the comments. Let me know if you are excited about it. I am so sorry if you are excited and I just rained all over your parade. I really, truly am so sorry. If by the time you got to this review, you've already seen it, let me know what you thought. Do you agree? Do you disagree? We can talk about it civilly. What did you love about this movie? Let me know. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you can check me out at mamasgeeky.com. Thanks. I'll see you next time.